Hello everyone. Excuse me. Hello everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast as part of a ZtormLabostix article. This audio podcast as part of a Siege Solar and Storm, Siege Solar Storm, and this audio podcast as part of a Stax'n'um edition. This audio podcast as part of a ZtormLabostix production. In this audio podcast, a look at the epidemiology, and again, listeners and viewers, the epidemiology and some of the aspects in around this overview as part of hemolytic uremic syndrome is sort of retrospective, and there is more recent literature in around this. However, to give sort of a basis in around some of the epidemiology here. So HUS is and has been the most common cause, one of the most common causes of acute renal failure in children, pediatrics, and young people with an equal gender incidence. The annual incidence of the annual incidence of virulotoxin infection, which varies geographically and from year to year, ranges from 1 to 30 cases. Has ranged from 1 to 30 cases per 100,000 in amongst industrialized countries, and there's seasonal variation. The seasonal variation being more where HUS tends to be more common in the warmer months in pediatrics and young people, and it is more common in those under the age of 5 years of age, and there is a female predominance and especially in where evidence informs that is especially common in Latin American countries, such as Argentina, at least in some of the evidence. And HUS also is less often caused by upper respiratory tract infections. Use of anti-motility pharmacotherapy may increase the risk of developing HUS in pediatrics and young people. A rare syndrome, there's a rare syndrome post puberty. Is closely related to the symptomology and condition of thrombotic thrombocytopenia or thrombotic thrombocytopenia or TTP, which is more common, which is a sort of a more common condition, somewhat in adults in adults where TTP is aligned to another sort of particular hematological condition, and it may occur. HUS may occur in sporadic cases, or in small epidemics, depending on etiology. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast as part of a ZtormLabostix article. This audio podcast as part of a Siege Solar Storm. This audio podcast as part of a Stax'n'um edition. This audio podcast as part of a ZtormLabostix production.